Yeah, so today we're discussing about why people that's experienced detention not being heard.
Mhm. To be honest. And every time they transfer your case to your case to other your case worker, no, I don't have my case. If you call them, who are you? No, I don't have your case. Contact IDT, investigation documentary team, is you having your case. You call them, they transfer. At the end, you're gonna be frustrated. Then when you go to the library and ask them help, they cannot give you help. They give you wrong story. If you are going to report, most of them they don't sleep. They have nightmare because tomorrow I'm going to report. What's going to be happen? I'm not coming home. I'm not coming home. Most of the people, that's what they think of. That's a guy. It's my neighbor here. He's a Pakistan. Anytime he's going, he have to go with his suitcase because anytime he's supposed to be go for reporting monthly, they know that it's tomorrow he can't sleep today. That now he's having a mental problem now. And when you are panic all the time, at the end you're gonna get paranoid. And when you paranoid, that's the time sickness time, stroke, and all those things. Because of you are killing your cells, brain cells, and the brain need to be relaxed at night, but you can't sleep. In the day I just get released. It take me a couple of 2 months. When I every time nightmare, I was telling me, I'm not in detention anymore. But it's a nightmare. It take me time. Imagine those mental things. People at the end, you go if you go to the library, ask for solicitor, the staff, the way they treat you, you're gonna get panic. That's the way they are playing mind game with the detainees and the staff there inside.
You are in detention every month. They just bring you your monthly report, and it's the same thing. It's just the dates that you will see that is being changed.
We are talking about the experience and how people are living in limbo in detention.
People
Mhm.
find it hard just to always having to go through that to mention it. You either seem to blank it out or ignore it.
There's a danger that people can be then trapped in that narrative of detention that, like you said, it can have an impact on them. But if they're having to relive it and things that can take them back to it. So people have talked about certain foods, if they eat it, that then remind them of the situation in detention, hearing keys jangling from the officers who would have keys as well, that then that can cause them to relive their experience.
Personally, I feel UK is the most torturing country in the world I can ever think of. There might be countries that are torturing people physically, as we hear, but to torture somebody mentally is more worse than to use a physical instrument to hit somebody up or be beating the person up. That one you can see physically, but the mental torture that people go through, and they always say that people have mental illness, people have mental issue. It's something that they just say, but they don't know how it feels. Your mental state, or you as a person after detention, all the experience you go through, it's difficult to be able to become a person again. About a few months now, but I still got these mental issues that I'm battling with on a daily basis.
This is how it works. I was there for 5 days, every day, 23 hours a day. And the problem in that calling short term. There's 2 cameras, the one in the toilet and the one in your room. So the one in the toilet, they know what's going on. What you are doing, they are seeing you. And even if you have a phone, you cannot have network.
Because a lot of the people that was working there, officers, they loved it. They loved working there. They loved that migrants was being treated. They loved that people was getting forced to leave, getting forced to move around in the middle of the night to different detention centers. They love the job. Even though they know what was going to people was wrong. The way human beings are being treated. Now, 100% of these people are not telling lies, they're telling the truth. You have to see it for yourself to believe that it does happen.
I was having nightmare for a couple of 3 months. I can't sleep the time I was get released. 3 months, nightmare. The only thing I was doing it, go to the park, run, walking long distance. If I see people, I was paranoid. To be honest, I was not trusting anybody. I was not trusting anybody. Even my lawyer, I was not trusting my lawyer too.
There's no experience than to live there yourself and witness the trauma what people go through inside this place. Them lock you here listening for the key for them to open your door, them lock your door, them give you food. You have to live it to experience it. You can tell someone about it, but they don't want to understand it to live it and experience it. Even when the visitors, when you go to visit, how many doors do you have to go through? How many searches you have to go through just to get, you remember, you're not coming to see a convicted prisoner. You're coming to see someone that just inside there for not a crime, just trying to stay in the country.
Yeah, my opinion, the problem is that, people don't think about it. Anybody being to detention, you are a criminal.
In this situation, it carries with you the whole of the rest of your life, like you're being punished and punished and punished again. I think, again, it's trying to get the facts and being honest about the facts instead of buying into trying to make out that everybody in detention is a criminal.
Is that prison? Some of them will even ask you, is that the prison? And I said, no, it's even worse than prison.
And people in detention, they are not criminals. They are not bad people due to circumstances. That's why they are inside there.
Often the narrative that we hear in lots of the media may be presented as people getting lots of handouts, getting lots of benefits. If people's voices were heard, they could share the actual reality.
But in the public's eye, they don't always paint that picture. They always got to paint the terrible image. The bad image is always the first picture that they put out for the people to see, like, why they've got this system in place. Why is this system is happening? But deep down, the Home Office know it's not the case, but this is the persona what people get.
Your mental state, or you as a person after detention, all the experience you go through, it's difficult to be able to become a person again. I still got these mental issues that I'm battling with on a daily basis. And having experienced that detention, and you are out from detention, you don't want to think about it. You don't even want to. It's like the moment you hear the name detention or you hear anything related to immigration, it's like you just begin to have headaches straight away.
Like when we said about the issues about people's voices not heard, so there's that reality of being in detention and having a lack of access to the usual systems that you would use to get your voices heard. But even afterwards, like you said, if people are wary of going to speak to their MPs, that would normally be a system that the public would use in the UK, that you can go to your MP and campaign about issues or get them to support on issues. But if people have had bad experiences of people in authority, or there's that lack of trust that they wouldn't. Sometimes people are wary of accessing the support, the limited support that is out there for them.
As a detainee, you are never being believed, neither in the court nor even before Home Office. They don't believe you in any way. Whatever you say, they don't believe you.
If I see people, I was paranoid. To be honest, I was not trusting anybody. I was not trusting anybody. Even my lawyer, I was not trusting my lawyer too.
Fear, like some people may be suspicious that information that they're being shared may be being passed on to the Home Office.
Because a lot of people feel like they've just been the system has let them down. Because a lot of people don't really speak about it. But I know it's hard for them because I've been in that situation. It's not easy. You just feel the world is against you.
Listen, then when you get released, your mind's gone.
The people that I have visited Detention has had massive impacts on their mental health, high levels of anxiety and depression. Many of the people in detention have experienced traumatic situations.
The day I just get released, he take me a couple of 2 months. Every time nightmare, I was telling me, I'm not in detention anymore. But it's a nightmare. It take me time. It take me time. Every morning, what I did, I go to the park and run. Slowly. Well, at night time, I have nightmare. Wake up every time. My heart was beating. I said, no, I'm not in detention. That was, you all know, I was losing weight. I was, I said, no, I have to use my strategy too.
The Home Office just put a fear in everyone. Like, they put a fear in me when I was young because I didn't know what detention was. For me, I thought everything was okay till I was put in detention. From a young age to experience it, I grew up more in detention than I grew up outside. So they put that thing in you where you can't just get rid of it by a switch. To always live that memory is the most toughest part all the time, when number of time you get asked the story and you're going through it, but sometimes you really don't like to get deep into it because you're trying to forget it. Because sometimes I really try to forget that I was even in detention.
Yeah.
I just want to get on with my life, that it didn't exist. I just want to get on with my life. But at the same time, Home Office, the most thing that they're afraid of the truth. The more the truth the more the truth comes out, the more we gain grounds, because something can be hidden under carpet for so long. You can be putting under carpet. Sooner or later, that carpet is going to be full.
And having experienced that detention, and you are out from detention, you don't want to think about it. You don't even want to. It's like the moment you hear the name detention or you hear anything related to immigration, it's like you just begin to have headaches straight away.
We're gonna get there. Not for us, but for our generation that's about to come, our kids. Because even though we've won our case, because we haven't got status or British passport, our kids are still in that threat that we're bringing up in this country. Do we want them to experience that same lifestyle that we have experienced, endured?